Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Concordia University's Forest Space. Thanks so much for joining us for today's event. It's the next episode of the Iron Ring podcast with Iana Belitchka. We would like to begin by acknowledging that Concordia University is located on unceded Indigenous lands here in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. And we respect the continued connections with the past, the present, and future, and our ongoing relationships with Indigenous and other peoples within the Montreal community. Here at Forest Space, we work with our university community to help mobilize knowledge. We co-create daily activities examining research questions and projects happening across the university. We're also running today's event as a live stream to YouTube and Zoom, so those of you joining us there, if you have any comments or questions, we can read them out a little bit later on. Just pop them into the chat. And those of you here in the space, if you have any comments or questions, just raise your hand and we'll run a microphone over to you if you've got any comments or questions a little bit later. Okay. Not for me, it's now very much my pleasure to hand things over to our hosts of the Iron Ring podcast, Hannah, Ahmadi, Amanda, Sanderson. Welcome in.
Thank you. So hello and welcome back to Women in Engineering's Iron Ring podcast. My name is Hannah, as we said, and I'm joined by my co-host Amanda for our 10th episode. So today we're excited to highlight our guest, Iana Belitchka, who is a software developer at La Caisse and an ex-Concordia and WE alum. We're excited to hear her valuable insight and her experience as a woman in engineering, both professionally and academically. But before we jump in, a quick shout out to our amazing sponsors at La Caisse, ABB, Behavior Interactive, Busada, Canam, Ferric, and Intelcom. Their support means the world to us and allows us to keep doing things like this. So a big, big thank you. Now I'll hand the floor to Amanda to get us started with today's discussion.
Thank you, Hannah, and welcome, Iana. Thank you for being here. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you very much. I'm super happy to be here. I am so sorry for the delay. There was an incident in production this morning at work, so
no worries.
I had to prioritize production.
It happens.
So
Job
sorry.
first.
Exactly. It's engineering things, right?
Yes, part of the job.
Perfect. So would you like to get our discussion started by telling us just a little bit about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. So hello, everybody. My name is Iana. I am a recent. It's been 5 years since I graduated from Concordia University. I was also a member of Women in Engineering during my last year at Concordia University as Director of Outreach. We'll talk about it a little more later.
Yep.
And more about me. So professionally, I'm a software developer for the past 5 years at La Caisse. On a personal level, I love to program. I also love to dance to balance that out a little bit. I perform at and I manage a Bulgarian dance group. It's called Ensemble Zornita. So we perform at various events such as weddings, concerts. Just this weekend we were in Chicago to dance.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
I love doing that in my side time after working hours. I also organize cultural Bulgarian events here in Montreal, and I also host a Bulgarian TV show called Zornita that goes on Ici Television. It's a Canadian channel, multicultural channel, basically. So yeah, I like to really keep myself busy doing all of those things.
Wow. Okay. Very diverse. Yeah, keep going.
Last point, I'm so sorry. It's
Go
very
ahead.
important for me. I'm a big supporter of Cristiano Ronaldo ever since I was 11 years old. It's huge. It really defines a big part of who I am today.
Wow.
In terms of work ethic, like determination, all the values and like work ethic he applies on the field. I've been applying it throughout my university time, even still today. So, yeah.
So would we say like he could be your role model?
Absolutely. He has been my inspiration, my motivator, my role model throughout my whole journey at school.
Wow.
And just a small question, do you play soccer too, or is it like non-related?
I used to play in the team in high school for a little bit, but I mostly play basketball.
Okay, so
Very well-rounded. So that being said, we want to get more specifically into the world of tech. So we wanted to know what got you interested in the world of technology.
So it's very interesting because I got into tech by chance, and it has completely changed my life. It's one of the best things that had happened to me. I basically after high school, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do, like many others. Something that was really cool, we had this organization called Les Jeunes d'Explorateurs d'un Jour, if I'm not mistaken, visit us. And basically, they would match you to a profession. You had like choice number 1, choice number 2, and they would match you to a professional in the field, and you get to spend a day with them. So my first choice was police. I didn't get picked for that one, sadly.
That's hard.
My second choice was lawyer. Okay. I was, I guess, really interested in becoming a lawyer until I spent a day with a lawyer. And we went to public court cases, and I was like, it's too stressful for me. I'm a very emotional person, too sensitive, so I thought that I would be thinking about it outside of my 9 to 5. It would affect me way too much, so I let that go. And I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that my favorite subjects were math and physics. So I enrolled into international business at Dawson College. I really, really liked all the classes, even the math ones, even the business program. And then you basically get to pick electives. And there's like a big list of different electives I could take, and it didn't take me like much time to right away pick website creation. I was like, wow, that sounds so cool. Creating a website, I had never thought about it as a career choice at all. It was the first time I considered anything like that. And so I enrolled in it, and for the whole semester we had to work on a big project, which was to create your own website. So you can guess what I made the website on. My idol, yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, of course.
Of course. I had to.
It's like a common theme in your journey.
Throughout my high school years, college as well, like of course I will create a website on Cristiano Ronaldo. And basically, my objective also with this one was to get to meet him with that project, which I succeeded in doing.
No way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Probably that also helped me get into tech, because it really showed me like, wow, code makes your dreams come true.
Wow.
So
Oh, that's so beautiful.
That is such a great connection, yeah.
yeah, I admired that class. And after that, I graduated Dawson College, and then what's really cool about our educational system is that we pick a program in college, and then we get to pick a program again in university, and you can change it. So I changed it to computer science at Concordia University. And I have been super, super happy with my decision. Basically, I got into technology by chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you were in business, then you did your website creation, which you really liked, but what you really liked about it was that you got to meet Ronaldo, or like both?
Yeah, I loved the journey about creating the website. I was really passionate about it, actually.
Okay.
And this also led, later on, actually, I hadn't met Ronaldo yet.
Okay.
It was
That's
at
what I was
university, so I can't say that I only picked computer science because I got to meet Ronaldo. But definitely it was something that I really, really enjoyed doing. What I love about programming is that you don't need much to build a house, in a way. You feel ownership of your code, you're super proud of what you create, and you get this excitement when the code works. So I love the logical aspect of it as well, because it's so much logic and problem solving, which is something that I like to do. So yeah.
Okay, nice. I can agree. I also I don't like coding, but I do like the logic and problem solving. That's what we all have in common, I think.
Yeah, maybe someday you will like coding too.
We'll see about that. So a bit more specifically, I know you talked about SAGEP and like leading to university. Can you tell us about your journey specifically in computer science at Concordia?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So I spent I think it ended up being 4 years instead of 3 at Concordia University in computer science. Picking the university, I knew I wanted to continue education in English, and downtown my two visible options were Concordia or McGill. McGill has an amazing reputation, so I think my number one choice was like, I should go to McGill. But then I find that it's very important, recruitment, and the recruitment people actually really are key, because we had this event at Dawson College where there are different kiosks. Every university recruiter at the university had a kiosk there, so I passed by the Concordia one, and I forgot the name of the recruiter. I have to look it up on LinkedIn. Big shout out to her. She was so kind, and she was basically the face of the university, and it made me feel welcome and basically love Concordia University before even attending it. And she spoke about obviously how great the program is, and there was also an entrance scholarship for those that did very well in college, and my R score was very high in the business program at Dawson, so she did mention that I was eligible for an entrance scholarship, which I also did get entering Concordia University.
Nice.
The other thing that I really liked about Concordia also was that they have a co-op program.
Yes.
Which is really amazing, especially when you're starting off first time interviewing or creating a CV. They're there to help you. That was amazing. And I just fell in love with the program, so I went for it. And the first semester was actually quite difficult for me. I had a confidence not boost, but
Drop.
Because I was reading in the business program, it was an easier time, and all of a sudden I'm surrounded in a math class with students that did pure and applied. So
Yes.
the level of difficulty in the math class is quite different. In college, I was a tutor for math class, calculus, and linear algebra. But again, in the business program, it's a different level of difficulty than the science one. And I could definitely feel it at Concordia in the computer science program.
I want to touch on that. I also did commerce, which is a business program at John
Yeah.
Abbott. And when I came to university, although I did like the math, it was very different. And like you said, all these people did pure and applied, which is like pure physics, or physics for engineers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you feel the difference.
You really do feel it. So I just want to say, valid point there.
Thank you.
I understand why your confidence
I'm
dropped.
happy I'm not the only one that feels this way. So yeah, it was difficult, to begin with, but I did really, really enjoy it, and I wanted to be good. I wanted to learn, and I wanted to get to a point where I find it easy. I remember walking through the university, and I was seeing those teaching assistant posters, and I was looking at them, and I was like, wow, this is a goal. I would like to get so good in a given class that I can teach it to somebody else. And I finally, actually, it's only my last semester at the university that I got to become a teaching assistant
Okay,
for a
but
class. So I was
We
really
got there.
happy that I got there. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes. So what else did I do? Oh, another thing that I really wanted to accomplish during my time in university was a semester abroad. I remember speaking with a recruiter about it. I was asking, so is that possible? Isn't it more difficult in the engineering program? And she did say, yes, it is more difficult because you really have to match the course content here and there. Also, obviously, the calendars. So it is more challenging, but she said it's not impossible. And she gave an example that her son, even being a student in engineering, did a semester abroad studying at Concordia. So
Nice.
I was really excited, and I knew, okay, as long as, even if it's difficult, as long as it's possible, then I will do
You're up
everything
for
I
it,
can, yeah, to get that happen. So I went to Madrid for a semester. It was
Where's the
amazing.
common theme? No, is it?
Yeah,
is
now I'm in Madrid. I don't know. It was a coincidence, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was amazing. And then I also did co-op. I enrolled in co-op. I completed the 3 co-op internships. And it's very interesting because my fourth one, I could talk about it maybe a little later, but my fourth internship has to do with women in engineering.
Okay, nice.
So I'll mention that at a later point, but I completed 4 internships. I did hackathons,
Okay, nice.
a few of them in Hack Princeton a few times, at Hack Harvard as well, at Hack Concordia, of course. It was amazing. And even at Hack in Barcelona during my time abroad, I also got to do one in
Nice.
Barcelona.
That's
I
crazy.
highly recommend those as well. So yeah, and of course in my last year at university, I got involved in women in engineering as director of outreach for elementary schools. And that was an amazing experience that I wish could continue further. And if I have one regret, is not starting off earlier. I do have a little brother that now studies at Concordia, and I told him, hey, piece of advice, like as soon as you get to Concordia, get into a student association ASAP, because it's something that I only discovered in my last year, and I wish I would have done earlier. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, nice. So about being in
Yeah.
we kind of share a position in common. We were both director outreach. My first year, that's what I was also for elementary.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So do you have a bit more insight about your journey in I know you said it was kind of a little short-lived because it was only a year, but what do you remember from it?
Yes, I absolutely loved it. It was in my last year at university. Sadly, the pandemic took over in the last bit of it. So there were some activities that we wanted to repeat. We didn't have the way to because of the lockdown. But during the very first semester, I can say, so I had the task to come up with workshops in the field of computer science and engineering for elementary school students. And being in programming myself, I thought, okay, let's think about a cool, fun, interactive way to teach kids how to program at a young age. So I discovered Scratch, which is like the most basic programming language that kids get to learn. Actually, what's really, really cool is that some schools even teach it to kids, which is amazing.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So I discovered that, and you can code in Scratch on a computer, but then I wanted to be even more interactive because I could imagine everybody be on their computer. It's nice, but I wanted something a little more interactive than that. So I discovered those robots, they're called Cody Rocky robots, that are programmable. So you can use a computer or an iPad to program them, and they're basically executing your instructions, and they move around, and it's even more satisfying to see this live in 3D in front of you. So I thought that would be amazing for the students to play around with and learn how to code and get into the world of computers at an early age. So I found them, we ordered a few ones with the budget of women in engineering, and we went on in a primary school class to do the workshop. We found mentors from Concordia that would accompany like a group of kids, like maybe around 5-6 kids per group per mentor, that would be there with them to show them how in case they need to. And they were almost useless because the kids, they were so hands-on.
Yeah.
The
They're
mentor
very
was-
good. They're very good with those robots, and she ordered them, and we still use them for our elementary workshops.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she left her mark.
So happy. I couldn't be happier about this, that they're still being used and that kids enjoy them. After that, I did an internship at Société Générale. Actually, it was during that same time, during my time at I was intern at Société Générale. And what's really cool is that they also have the Women Network, so an association of women in tech, basically, within the company. And as I was interning there, I vividly remember Timanuya, which is one of the founders of their association, came up to me and suggested that I attend some of their weeklies within their association as well, and to see how we can collaborate further, because they're already a sponsor of women engineering at Concordia, but she wanted to do even more and to see how we can maybe brainstorm about them doing even more activities and be inspired by women engineering as well. So I suggested that workshop with the Cody Rocky robots, and I pitched that idea to one of their members within the company, and they approved the budget to purchase a few as well, and they reproduced that workshop in an elementary school as well with the Société Générale company, which was an amazing thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
So definitely being a member of women engineering, it followed me through. Also, even professionally now at La Caisse. I got into La Caisse during the pandemic, right? Because in terms of timeline, I was director of outreach fall and winter of, I believe, 2019 and 2020. And the pandemic hit. So I graduated then. And shortly after, I started working at La Caisse. But it wasn't an easy time with the pandemic, just like students, I guess, within companies too, in the sense that everything is online. You don't get to meet people in 3D until I think 1 year later or 2, I'm not too sure when we got back in office. And I am a shy person, even if sometimes it doesn't look like it. I am a very shy person. It took me a long time to get comfortable within, even just speaking in meetings with the team, even just like members of my own team. It took me maybe at least a year to get comfortable, just because we were always meeting virtually. And I really, really wanted to continue the mission that I undertook at Women in Engineering, especially that it ended with the pandemic, where we wish we did more, but then we were blocked by it.
Yeah.
And I understood, Sally, that I can't keep going because I'm not a student anymore. So I wasn't too worried, because I was like, okay, well, as soon as I get a job at the next company, I'll just be part of their association, because I thought that every association has like a Women in Engineering association, just like Société Générale had. And to my surprise, they didn't have that. So then I looked up in the active directory of the company, développeuse, like job title.
Yeah, but like feminine.
Yeah, to get together with other girls within the company, even just through Teams. So I direct messaged them like, hello, are you also a programmer? That's really cool. So we got to meet and kind of organically create non-officially Women in Tech group. And it only took a few years until it got officialized by La Caisse. So now today it's called Les Femmes en Tech.
Okay, nice.
So it's a like success story. I'm really, really happy about that. Inspired by Women Engineering, got to initiate that within La Caisse. And just last year was it?
Yes.
That we reached out to Women Engineering to once again reproduce the Cody Rocky robot event with employees from La Caisse and their kids. They got to bring their kids.
A very full circle moment for you, I imagine, with the robots and we. And I loved it. We hosted it together. It was so fun. And the kids love it. It's really fun to see how much these workshops have an impact. At first, when you join, you think, okay, what if these kids are not interested? What if they don't care? You know, you don't really know what you're going to deal with. And they're better than us. Yes. The kids were doing the workshop, and I was like, wow, you guys know what you're doing. We have engineers on the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what was really fun to see is because we basically made teams of parents and teams of kids. And it was funny to see that the kids were maybe better than the parents.
Significantly, almost.
And it was really cute because during the event, the kids would be working on their project, and then from time to time they would like sneak peek on their parents and be like, "Oh, where are you? Where are you? You know, where are you at?" Because basically the idea of the objective of that workshop is that we print out a map, and Cody has to begins from point A, and he has to go through all different kinds of obstacles and reach destination on time. So there's a point system. So if you get on time if you reach destination on time, you get points. If you use sensors, the Cody Rocky robot is really cool because it detects proximity, detects sound, colors. So there's a lot of creative things you can do with it. It also produces sound. It also writes letters. So it's very fun for the kids. And basically, you can also create a for loop in the code. So we got to teach them what a for loop is. And you get points. The more of these features that you implement in the code, the more complex the code is, and the more you get points. And there's a time limit that is assigned. And basically, there's a demo part in the end. So the workshop, I think, lasted about an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the end, every team gets to do a demo in front of everybody of their code. They press the play button and the robot executes. So everybody got to see everybody else's project, which was really fun because they were all different. And the kids did really amazing.
It was a great workshop. I think the best one I've personally done in outreach, and I was in outreach for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Everyone was into it. The robots are amazing, as I said. So thank you so much for bringing that to women in engineering.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much. There's so many parents that came up to me after, like, I need to get this robot for my child.
Yeah,
Please send
it
the
makes
link.
it so easy for the kids. It's really nice.
To enjoy it, yes. I had a colleague that came from my team that we worked together, and he came with his daughter and son, and he told me, I was worried because my daughter, she didn't want to know anything about it. She didn't even want to come, so I kind of have to force her to come to the event. And after the event, she can't stop talking about the robot, how much she wants to have it at home and keep playing with it. And it was a girl, he had like a son and a daughter, and it was the daughter that was like overly excited about the robot. So it was great to hear that feedback that we really didn't make a difference in the kids'
Lives.
Yeah. And still on the topic of women in engineering, do you wish, you said, I know your first year was very difficult for you in uni.
Yeah.
Do you think women in engineering or being a part of that association would have helped? Or would it help, just for me personally, it's what helped me. I was having a hard time my first year.
Yeah.
And then I joined WE. And all of a sudden, I see all these women who are going through the same thing as me.
Absolutely. It was the first time where I find myself in a bus of girls, women. I would finally belonged to a girl group. I remember we were going to a conference in Toronto together, and it was such a cool moment because up until then, I would find a girl in the classroom, maybe 20% were girls, and I wouldn't really have many girlfriends throughout my school time. So it was definitely so nice to have this. I wish I would have had that earlier, definitely. Other than that, I believe that it really helped as well, even professionally, like to find internships, to match you. So on this point, earlier I said I would talk about my fourth internship. So my fourth internship happened at Société Générale, right? And it was outside the...
Can you remind me what Société Générale is? Because I'm not exactly sure.
Yes, it's a financial company.
Okay.
Yes, the financial company that I worked at in my last internship.
Okay, nice.
That's how they're called. And one of my favorite events is the speed dating event with companies.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
I love it. I got to participate twice. The first time as with Lockheed Martin, because I did my second internship at Lockheed Martin, and I attended the event with the HR of Lockheed Martin. So I was on one side of the table the first time, and then second time I attended as a student. So it was really nice to see both sides. And the connections that you build throughout that event are really very valuable. In my case, it was the case as well. I got to meet a mentor of mine today, which is called Sabine. She worked at Société Générale at the time, and we really connected very much during that event. Little did I know that I would meet her again later on. I thought it was one-time meeting. But today, for instance, we still keep in touch. We go for lunch from time to time. She mentors me. She's an inspiration to me as a woman in tech. And I got to build this connection at this event. And I remember that one piece of advice she had given me then was that it's very important to learn Python, because being at studying in the computer science here at Concordia, we focus on Java, and we don't necessarily learn Python unless we take a class.
Okay. Like an elective, or
like an elective, exactly. It's not necessarily part of the curriculum and the program I was in, but it's a very important language. It's not a hard one, especially once you know Java, you can learn Python. It's mostly a question of syntax, mostly at this point, but she really stressed the importance of it, and it was very, very true. And I left my CV at Société Générale then, as I was looking for my third internship. And nothing happened. I found my third internship somewhere else. And maybe about a year later, I get an email from Société Générale to interview for an internship. And at this point, I was like, well, I already completed I didn't expect that too, because it was a while back that I left it at that event.
Exactly.
And they kept it in the database and got back to me. Maybe it was about a year later. At this point, I was thinking, well, I completed my 3 internships at Co-op. I'm not really sure, but I told myself, okay, I'll go to the interview, see if there's a match, and discuss and see what we can do, because I didn't want to delay my education further, taking another semester off for working full-time. So I told that to them, and they said that they were open to me working part-time.
Wow.
Which was
ideal.
The dream.
The dream. I didn't even think that would be possible, but there you go. Just go for it and see what happens. So I did that internship, my 4th internship part-time at Société Générale. After that, and then I reconnected with Sabine as well over there. She was super happy and proud to have me there. She was like, "Oh yes, I found her." So yes, definitely women engineering helps so much, and this is why I told my brother is called Iana Belitchka. He studies at the GMSB in Business Technology Management, I believe.
Nice.
So he is involved today as well in associations, and I can see that it helps him a lot as well. He wouldn't have such a nice time at university if it wasn't.
I think it's like the recipe to really enjoying your university time. Like you make friends, you are busy.
It comes with responsibilities,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
And you get experience and all that stuff. So I think it's a must. Like I always tell everyone entering uni, try to join an association. It'll
ASAP.
change your student life.
I agree.
And later.
Exactly. And it's like,
Clearly.
instead of coming to school and like, I'm just doing class and studying and stuff like that, joining the association gives like another aspect to school or coming to campus, which is like, just also helps.
I really felt that. Yeah.
We had another question here. It's quite general. You might have already touched on it. It was, what role do you think student organizations like Women in Engineering can play in bridging the gap between academia and industry? I know you just touched on that a little bit. If you had to say it more in a general term as like advice to other people, what would you say?
It helps a lot because it creates this connection between the students and the companies. And just to give an example with the speed dating event, from what I remember, it was important to know it's not an interview. It's not an interview for a position. You just have the chance. You have, I remember if it was a minute or how long the duration was, but you just have time to talk and ask advice and speak with different representatives of different companies. So you get to do this. Whereas in other events that are just networking, it could be difficult to, you need a confidence, and might not be so easy to approach those people.
Exactly.
But during this event, you kind of, you're there. you not you're forced to, but like you get to talk to everybody. Yes, and it's set up for you, so that helps a lot. Even people that are more on the shy side, it's basically set up for them, and it's on, they rotate and get to speak to all of the companies.
So it's kind of like a networking opportunity that's less serious, but this network opportunity you get by being a part of this association, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're only practicing your networking or making connections through interviews, which are super high stress, right?
Yes,
You
very.
get to do it in a more relaxed scenario.
Exactly,
which is
and you
super
don't
nice.
even need to be a member of Women in Engineering to experience that.
That's true also,
So just
yeah.
as long as even if you don't get involved in the association as a member, you still get to benefit from all of the events that we organize because you attend as a student.
Exactly.
And it's very important because there's a concept that I learned in a class called the leaky pipeline,
Yes.
which explains how throughout the journey, even like, first of all, it's really hard to get girls into those STEM programs, and even those few ones that are there, they leak throughout. They don't all like stay until the end.
Go through the pipe, yeah,
Go through
exactly.
go through the pipe basically, and then even after graduating, they have to find employment as well.
Exactly.
So it really, really helps with that.
Okay, and then like just a little
Yes.
side thing. Is there any skill that you thought you got from Women in Engineering that did help in bridging the gap between academia and industry? Like maybe instead of technical skill, I know you learned a lot of them, maybe like a personal skill or something that you don't think you would have gotten from your classes?
Definitely, or everything that's organizational.
Okay, yeah.
Is a skill that you get at WE, and not necessarily from your classes in terms of organizing events,
Okay, yes.
right? For example, organizing the workshops at the elementary school, you do a presentation as well. So there's a lot of those interpersonal skills that in engineering programs sometimes they're a little bit
Less
less
focused on. Yeah.
present,
Yeah.
but you get to compensate by being part of those associations.
Yeah, and I also feel like communication is a big one too. Like I'm communicating with a bunch of people from different programs, so like all engineering, but different ones, and communicating about different things, which like I don't think I would have been doing if I wasn't in Women in Engineering. So
Absolutely.
I do agree with that point also. Hannah, do you want
Yeah.
to go to the next question?
I just want to keep going on this topic.
I like it too.
More of like an industry perspective. In your opinion, or maybe not your opinion, from your experience and what you've seen personally, why do you think there is such a gap or a lack of women in the tech sector?
Yeah, definitely. So I think my case, what was my case? I was not informed of the possibility of getting into computer science. So I actually really wonder how come in high school, when there was a specific objective to get you to find your career choice of
Yeah,
interest.
like inform you or
How did
help
it
you.
never come up to my mind that, hey, actually I can be a developer? It didn't even come up as an idea, first of all. And then the second thing is, I'm even wondering, like, okay, what if it came up? I'm not even sure if I would have had the courage to get into it, because the stereotype that exists
Yeah.
and people that I see, because anytime that I meet a younger girl that hasn't chosen her program of study, I always say, hey, go for computer. Even if it's not a girl, even if it's a boy, but especially if it's a girl, I say go into computer science is the best field ever. So I always push for that. But I often get the answer, I'm not good with computers, or I'm not good in math, or I'm not good enough. They think that there's a prerequisite getting into the program of computer science. Like, you must have been programming as a teenager in your basement in order to be able to access that program. But no, actually, they take you from knowing nothing, even university level. And actually, I regret, again, if I had to do things all over, I would have loved to and benefited a lot from taking computer science in college before university. It would have given me a boost. I would have found my first semester at university a lot easier as well, and I could see the difference. There were some students that had taken computer science in college, and it was a lot easier for them in the first year. Then we even out, but it was easier for them, definitely. It's not a must, though. Most people start from scratch, even at university level. So especially college, people shouldn't think that there's a prerequisite. It's okay to be bad with computers. It almost has nothing to do, like programming and like navigating through Windows, for example. It doesn't imply that you're not gonna be good in programming. Even if you are not good in math, it almost doesn't have much to do with math as well. Math is, you learn formulas by heart and you apply them and you problem solve. Yes, maybe the only thing that has in common is that it's problem solving on both ends. But programming is more about logic than just blindly applying not blindly, sorry, than applying formulas, but you basically create the formulas. You basically build the methods that you're going to then later execute. Yeah, if we can inform and educate at an early stage, and I think that it's very important to go to those young kids as well. Sometimes people say, oh, but kids, they're too young. What is it for? Some people don't understand the reason why we go to kids. And I always say that kids are our future. So we might not be able to change tomorrow as in tomorrow, but we can change the next generation, and it's happening right now. The kids of today are going to be the adults of tomorrow. So go see the kids, introduce them to the world of computer science, of engineering at an early stage so that they build on that interest, and educate them, and then break the stereotype that you need to already be good at it or be good in math in order to enter that. So I believe that there's like this barrier of entry where people don't dare to try.
Yeah, because they're like not really sure what it is. Like what you heard about it is like, it's so hard, like you said, with the math and science. And that was the same thing for me too, because there's nobody in my family who's an engineer. So like engineering for me was like, I don't know. And then like you started, and yes, it is super hard, but you, as long as you want it, you could do it. Like you said, you don't have to be a legend, basically. You just have to want it. So
Exactly.
I love your points on that.
Yeah.
Again, I think you answered that, so I won't ask the next question. I think you also answered this, but I'd like to hear it, I guess, maybe more specifically. How do you continue post-grad now? So you don't have professors like watching your work or assignments to submit. I know you have deadlines at work, but continue learning and growing your technical skills. So like any tools, habits, or resources you recommend? Or if you do, continue growing them. I don't know.
Absolutely. So I have to say that there's a lot to learn on the job. Maybe I would really say most of the technologies that I use in my day-to-day job right now, I did not learn those at Concordia.
Okay.
Starting off with even the language I program in, which is C#. We studied Java, and as I was applying for the position, I noticed that it's C# and it's a different language, but it's very similar. So before my interview, I spent a lot of time studying this new language ahead of time. I went through all the Udemy courses. Like I started from the beginner one, I did the intermediate one, I did the expert one. So Udemy helps a lot. It helped me a lot.
Yes, that website. Online.
Udemy.
Okay, yes, okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't get that.
It helped me a lot even before getting hired to learn C# and prepare for the programming interview, technical one. And then even at the job, and it's totally okay to not know everything because you learn a lot on the job, but it's important to be curious and do your homework, like look things up so that you can keep up with the pace and learn new things and get onto new projects even. And don't be afraid of not knowing. It's actually, see it as an opportunity and an excuse, if we can say, to learn a new skill or a new language, yeah.
Okay, nice. So really staying curious and motivated, I guess.
And do your homework, yeah.
Okay,
like,
nice.
Outside of your 9 to 5, I believe is very important, especially in the beginning. It makes a big difference.
So we're almost at our time, but I still have one question that I really want to ask. So, Amanda, you probably know a big subject when speaking about women in engineering is imposter syndrome, or feeling like you keep making mistakes or you're not doing it right. So I want to know from you, is there one decision or mistake or failure that you learned a valuable lesson from? And in a way, how could you translate that as a piece of advice for future engineers or current students? What would you want to end this podcast on and tell them? Loaded question.
I'm not sure if I want to end on my failure.
No, it's your solution to the failure.
Solution.
So I definitely had a lot of failures. It's hard to pick one, but I can share one place that I really failed and learned from in my first internship. So I was interning at BAT, British American Tobacco, in my first internship. And I was given the task. It didn't have to do with engineering, but it was something that I failed at the job, and a lesson it gave me. I was tasked to organize an event for the team. So every year, I think once or twice, they get together. It's called IT Live, and like all the technical department gets together. And they have a full journey talking about projects and where they're at, etc. And they ended with a team building activity. So I had a very, very simple job, which was to book a specific place at a specific time for the whole team. And it was an escape room, which was walking distance from the office. And it was supposed to be during the lunch hour.
Yeah.
It was a very important event. People flew out from UK for this. My boss was there, you know. And I make the reservation, everything is good. We walk over to the place, and the reservation person says, "Oh, there is no such reservation under your name."
Oh no.
Your heart must have dropped.
And I pull out my email, and I have the reservation, and I show it to him, and he looks at it, and he goes like, "Oh, yes, but that's a different location." I was red. I'm very sensitive, right? I got back to to the office, my desk. I was crying. I was feeling terrible, absolutely terrible for failing this. My manager handled everything very well. He was very nice and supportive despite my big failure. We got to reschedule for a 5 à 7. So it still happened, but I learned from this mistake to always double check. Even if you think that it's something very straightforward, like booking specific, I had one job basically, but it taught me to always double check everything I do. And one little tip, thing that I do is whenever even I want to send an email, I often schedule the email for the next day. And I have this span of time just to be able to get back to it and have a second look at it. Because sometimes you write something on the go and you don't think about everything, and you get back, you open it again and you're like, oh, actually, I forgot to mention this, or like, oh, actually, I forgot to adjust this. So it gives me and when I'm scheduling it, make sure that it gets done by this deadline. Because if I just get back to it, I might get back to it never or very, very late. But scheduling it basically tells me, okay, so tomorrow at 8 a.m., if I don't do anything, it's going to be sent. So I just know to get back and have a second look at it before it gets sent. So that's something I learned from and I use now to help me
And
with
a mistake happens.
mistakes.
Failure was a big word.
It was just a mistake. Yeah.
my first internship, it was
Yeah, I can only imagine
something.
the stress. Your heart must have dropped when you were there.
yeah.
Every escape room's like trauma for you now.
Yeah, oh my gosh, totally.
Double check things.
I think that's all the time left we have for today. There's only 2 minutes left, so
It was such a
I think we'll wrap it
pleasure.
up. Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for being here today. Your discussion was amazing. Your insights were awesome, and I'm sure our listeners feel the same way. If you want to give a farewell greeting, you're welcome to.
Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot to me. Coming back to Concordia, I haven't been here in a very long time. It's very nostalgic. I'm super, super happy to be here to collaborate, and I'm open to future collaborations, and I can't wait for what's next.
Yes, we loved having one of our own back with us. So It was
Yes.
nice for us as well. Thank you so much.
We're so lucky.
Thank you so much. Thank you, so am I.
No problem. So thank you everybody for tuning in. If you like this episode, feel free to join us next week for our second episode happening November 6th. And another big thank you to our sponsors and to the Fourth Space for making this episode possible. See you next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Hannah. Thanks, Hannah, for coming in also. Just going to let you know, we're going to close up the Zoom and the live stream now, but this does remain available on our YouTube channel, and you should revisit it. And come back next episode. See you soon.